Hello everyone, welcome back to our Icenia campaign. I am Ben the Bold, and you are you, and I say Icenia campaign, but if I start expanding a little bit, you'll notice that we are no longer the Kingdom of Icenia. We are Albion. So, we are the Empire of Albion. So in the last episode, if you missed it, we are working to turn Venta into a thriving metropolis. It will hopefully be one of the, if not the most civilized and population-heavy provinces or areas in the entire game. The only people that I think competes with, I noticed that this province right down here in Thrace was doing really well. It had 92 total population, but its civilization value isn't as high as ours. Pella also always does really well. It does have a very high civilization value and just an insane amount of pops with 121. Wow. So we have some catching up to do if we're going to catch up to the likes of the Macedonians, but we will, because we are the Icenia and we will conquer all. So we currently have 88 pops in the city with a pop capacity of 100. That's going to go up as we get farther along this process. Unfortunately right now, because we are building a metropolis, this is our main area in the entire nation. I'm not saying we don't have another couple big cities out there, but this is kind of our main city. And for the next 2 years, it has its provincial output is decreased by 100%, which means we're probably not going to have near as much, research points, but those will all bounce back once we are done increasing this into a metropolis, turning this into a thriving center of the British Isles. So, as I promised today, the first thing I want to do is just kind of go through our governor policies, but just make sure we're still on the right track. I've got a lot of culture conversion going on, and I'm not really sure I need that at this point, so let's just kind of take a look. First of all, the province of Fatatinia, its capital is the Isle of Man. That's kind of nice. Anyway, it is almost completely Icenia. There's no real reason for it to still have the governor policy as such. I know that I have had some barbarian issues, so my civilization value is actually pretty low here, and it has a pretty high maximum. I want to go ahead and increase that, so I think I'm going to start out by just doing civilization effort. And because I want to have a high civilization so that I get fewer barbarians to come out of these two barbaric provinces, I'm actually going to do civilization effort in both of these provinces as well. Of course, currently I lack the amount of political influence that I need. Looks like I have had a fire. I'm going to lose 800 food as well as 75 gold. I'm going to be okay with that. Next month, as soon as the month passes, I will go ahead and increase change this to the civilization value policy. That month is just ticking by super slowly. While that's happening, let's check out our inventions. We just had religious advance, although I'm not necessarily super excited about any of the inventions that we have to go along with it. Instead, let's look at what happens when we get our next oratory advance. Our civilization level will increase by 2%, or at least our max civilization level will increase by 2%. And we get some cool little inventions. I'm specifically looking out there at that oratory provincial investment cost decrease. That will allow me to get more trade routes into my provinces, although honestly, I'm not that worried about that at this point. It's helpful, but it's not necessarily something that I want to spend 228 gold on. Let's look at civic advancements, though. I could go ahead and get another capital import route, or I could get national commerce value up by 5%. I think in the long run, that will actually help me out quite a bit. I'll go ahead and do that. And I'm going to leave the build cost where it is. Naval maintenance costs, I could go ahead and drop, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm making plenty of money right now. Alright, let's go ahead and change this policy to civilization effort, as well as this policy to civilization effort. And the more and more centralized these provinces get, the less and less I will have to worry about the barbarians. Alright, let's keep going. How about you? So I don't really necessarily, let's think here. I don't necessarily want, I think I might start out with not civilization, but instead centralization. I might start by trying to push more pops into this settlement. I think I'll eventually turn that settlement into a grand city. Obviously, I'll need some more political influence for that. So yeah, I think I'm going to go centralization here first. That'll just push some of the pops into the city. I'm going to build some academies in the main city. That's going to increase the promotion speed so that I can get rid of these tribesmen and start having some citizens, which is what I want. Ireland is pretty sparsely populated, if you can't tell, so centralization may or may not help me that much. But we'll see. I might hold off on that one for a second. Let's come down here. I think I'm okay leaving you to culture convert for now. What about Marinia? Okay. This little area, mostly Iceni, 5 Belgae pops. For now, I'm kind of cool with the with that. I think I am going to try to turn this into a city. Although in the end, I kind of want this to be my main city in the region. Of course, this would be after I conquer. Oh, I could lose 153 gold. I'm not too worried about that since I do have so much gold. I will gain 5 corruption, but I'll also gain some loyalty among generals. I kind of like that. Gain some popularity, but lose a ton of loyalty. You just lose. I'm going to go ahead and lose the money. Gain some loyalty amongst one of my generals. That's okay. I do have several disloyal characters. I'm not super worried. All of them have very, very small power bases, except for my brother who's a researcher. Pirates, of course, more and more pirates come. Let's take a look at you. I can build some more here in this territory. Can I build anything that increases migration speed? I know that if there's a larger pop capacity, then, so if I built like the aqueduct, yeah, it increases migration attraction, which increases migration speed as well. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be worth it to build in this region quite yet. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. Let's go ahead and build an aqueduct here. Hopefully that will pull more people in from the, you know, these central provinces into my main city. Then from my city, I will start churning out some more citizens. Let's look at you. Am I okay with still have 6 Belgae pops. Although I kind of think I might switch this over to civilization or social mobility to just go ahead and get rid of those tribesmen that I have. Alright, we have an oratory advance. Our civilization level, max civilization level increases by 2. That's awesome. Yeah, all the rest are fine, I guess, but not super worried about them. Nervia, let's look at here. What is that? Governor policy is bleed them dry. Do I want that? No, I'm going to go ahead. I have one Iceni pop here. I'm going to go ahead and no, I'm going to leave that be. There's no reason. It's just one little province. I'm not super worried about it. Maybe if I took the rest of the province, which this looks to be a fairly sizable province, I might think about, I mean, first I'll, you know, change its culture and then probably civilize it quite a bit. Let's see, are there any cities here? Maybe here? Nope, still a settlement, but it has 22 pops. Although they can't support it. They need me to come and take over. In fact, maybe that should be my guys for declaring war on them. Anyway, I think my next war is actually probably going to be... Let's just briefly look at and see who you're allied with. No one really in particular. Ooh, I like this. Yeah, in one quick war, if I declare war on the Nervians, I could take all of this land. It would be a bloodbath. It would be quite costly. I might actually even think about hiring some mercenaries, since I have plenty of funds, and I'm not super worried about the military experience right now. Looks like the Sonori family could lose 25 prestige. It's got a lot of prestige out there. I'm going to go ahead and just say that that's okay. In fact, I think I probably will go ahead and just hire some mercs. I have plenty of cash to do that. I'm not worried about... I mean, I also have plenty of manpower. But I hate to use my own armies. Alright, I could have a Icenia slave, become a freeman, a couple, or I could gain a ton of money. I'm okay with the freeman. That's going to increase my manpower even more. That's fine. I'm going to keep building onto this navy. I'm going to go ahead and build some light ships. I'm actually going to build quite a few of those. That should help immensely. Looks like I have an import route available, but alas, I actually do not. Is this officially a metropolis now? No. I guess it is? Yeah, it is a metropolis. Cool, I thought I would get like an alert. Maybe I did, maybe I just exited out of it. But yeah, no, it's a metropolis, up plus 25% population capacity. I just didn't see anything about it. And plus 4 building slots. That should also hopefully increase my migration attraction. Yes, sir, it does. And I'm pulling in all these tribesmen. That's just fine. So let's think, what should I want to build here? Probably 2 more academies. Let's go ahead and really push out that research, also increase that pop promotion speed. Let's take a look at the research. Now that Venta is once again promoting at full capacity, I am almost getting 60 research points per month. That is pretty good. That is pretty good indeed. In fact, my next, it looks like Martial Advances 4 will be my next research available, and that will happen within the next 14 years. So that's still not super fast. Maybe if I got a better researcher. Nope, she's the best. Gonna go ahead and increase citizen output again, as I typically do. That should actually, once the month ticks over, give me some more research, hopefully. Let's see what happens. 27th, 28th, 29th, and December 1st? No, just 60.2. Alright, I guess the numbers didn't refresh. Yeah. Let's see. I did have a... Over here, you produce cloth. Cloth gives me local tax up by 10%. Cloth is good. I currently only produce 1 cloth. I need more slaves. If I build something to make slaves more efficient, maybe? This increases slave happiness as well as slave output. It's going to help my taxes. Oh, come on. Is there anything that... I know that in like a settlement, I could come and build like a slave estate, which would, well, make my slaves happier. Oh, like a mine, of course, I can't mine cloth, but this would make the slaves needed for a local surplus -5. I guess there's not a building for that for cities. So we'll just need more slaves here. That's okay. I'll do that, but eventually I would love to be able to export cloth, export it to Venta itself, go ahead and get even more taxes. Accept the base metals, sounds good. Military restructuring, how loyal are you? Not very, but he'll gain 5 loyalty. Let's see if he's probably losing loyalty per month. Yeah, he is, but not too much. I'll go ahead and do it. Why not? He's a pretender, that's why. Most of my generals are extremely loyal. Gonna go ahead and fabricate a claim here. I meant to do that earlier. And since I have it, I'm gonna go ahead and fabricate a claim onto Marinia. Should just help keep my aggressive expansion down, although I'm not super worried about my aggressive expansion at the moment, because it is around 0. Alright, here, let's go ahead and build... Do I want another library? Yeah, because currently I'm losing citizens, and that's not what I want. I want to increase citizens. So I'm going to go ahead and build another library. They should promote fairly quickly. I could turn London into a city, although do I really want 3 cities in this one province? It does make plenty of food. Wild game is not a food resource. You know what? I just feel like, I'll do it when I get 50 political influence. I just feel like London should be a city, you know? After all, it's London. It's Londinium. It, of course, will never rival Venta. Venta is the, it's the jewel of all of Albion. It's the jewel of all of Western Europe. I mean, I guess, well, I was going to say with the exception of Carthage, except Carthage is not exactly in Europe. Carthage is in Africa. Let's check out the barbarian chances. So barbarian power is currently 15.42. It's changing by 0.06 every month. Do I have like a mean time to happen? Like, how do I know when barbarians will spawn? It will likely raise 14 cohorts. All right, likely raise 23 cohorts. Well, they're the much more frightening ones. Either way, I'm ticking that civilization up in these areas. That's going to do nothing but hurt the barbarian spawn rate. And I'm going to go ahead and keep an army up in the north, just in case. I guess I'm going to put myself in charge of an army and go ahead and drill it. Looks like I have another magistrate who died. Religious advances, you get to be in charge. Good job. In just about 15 years, we'll get another religious advance. We are starting to move up that tech. Is there a way I can tell how much tech per month Rome is getting? How many research points? I guess that's just a little much to expect. They have 5 martial value and 5 religious, 6 in the other 2. What am I? I have 3 all the way down the line. So I'm catching up, but not near as fast as I would like. In fact, it might be worth it because you can tech up faster as a smaller nation, so it might be worth it for me not to expand too much. I also like how I have all of my armies kind of right here in a straight line. That's kind of fun. Can I build here? Yeah, and I want more citizens. More and more citizens, always. I'm going to do it. I'm going to hit the button because why not? Let's go ahead and make London into a thriving city. Speaking of, let's just take a look. It still has the civilization policy. I still like that. Let's look at here. Civilization policy, still like that. And culture conversion, not as big a fan of this policy. So, let's Oh, that's a city as well. I should go ahead and start building some buildings here. Let's do 1, 2, 3 libraries and 2 academies. Alright, so Albion Games plus 30 martial advances. That's good. But Albion Games corrupt researcher until 26... Alright, for the next 10 years. No, I don't really want to do that. Or one of my researchers could just lose 20 loyalty. Yep, that one works. I'm going to go ahead and change this to centralized population. Or you still have a ton of tribesmen in both of these places. So for now, I'm just going to go social mobility. Let's get rid of those tribesmen, turn them into citizens, shall we? Let's take a look at actually who is not loyal. We have him. He's a researcher. He's also the uncle of... He's also my uncle. I'm just not going to worry about him too much. He's not very powerful. He's getting up there in years. Let's see. Also you, what's your job? He's also a pretender. So basically, all the pretenders are not going to be loyal, right? Yeah, it's those three. Well, except for Kata. Who's the aunt? Who's my aunt? Oh well. Not too worried about pirates. Pirates just do pirate things. I don't love how they've implemented pirates in the game. I think this is better than how they started, where they were just kind of fleets that would just like sit in a place and inevitably always blockade you. You know, one of my first run-throughs was as Massalia down here, and as Massalia you have like little, you know, satellite territories kind of all over, and you really do need kind of a navy. But I had a barbarian fleet that just sat here, and it didn't allow me to do anything. That was still a pretty fun playthrough, though. I just expanded Massalia up north, took over, you know, most of Gaul, before I inevitably ran into the ire of Rome, and Rome kind of smashed me in that campaign. I was not near ready for them, and in that campaign, Rome took over most of the peninsula. Okay, that seems like good news all the way around. Or, yeah, I'm just gonna... We believe in Lectarius, sure. Gonna go ahead and give a admiral here. It's gonna be Alunia. And you are, of course, going to just keep building some boats. Let's go ahead and build 2 of each. Let's really spice up this navy, shall we? Looks like my pops are going to be promoting rather quickly. In fact, I might think about even building, well, I'm building more academies here, which is going to help. And my research continues to just kind of slowly grow and slowly grind. It'd be great if I could, well, here's some furs or some vegetables. Starting experience is fine. Local food production is fine. I'll get just a little bit of money from it, so why not? Let's see how my claims are going. I will have a claim on Nervia very shortly. I'm going to go ahead and move you both of these armies into place to attack the Nervians. I'm going to go ahead and move this fleet here. I think I'm going to resist hiring mercenaries for this because I just do have so much manpower. Where are the hostile forts? They have one here, so I might actually land troops. Although do they have any forts? They don't. Bad move, buddies. Are you allied with... No. Yeah, you are. You're allied with the Nervians, so this fort will hold me up, but is that the only fort that I'm going to come across? Are you allied with the Nervians? Yes. Alright, so I'll have... This is bad news bears for this little block of alliances. We must not neglect the arts. Actually, I agree. Well, I don't need monthly legitimacy up any. I could just lose 2. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. Normally, I would love to be a patron of the arts. I feel like the arts are very important. Earthenware, that's good. We have fabricated a claim, and it is time. They are going to have several allies, but I'm not really worried. Like the Remias, I'm not worried. Let's look at the... Yeah, these are all people I want to attack anyway. They may actually I think they will outnumber me, at least temporarily, but I'm going to start just pouring more and more cohorts into the mainland and establish quite a nice little foothold here. So I'm going to go ahead and declare war. I should have a tech advantage, so I'm not super worried about losing. I will go ahead and put you in some boats. I might as well get the ship discipline up. Is there anything else that might help me win this war? Starting experience would be good, maybe. I think it's finally time I take the starting experience. And that'll be enough for now. Not super worried about fort defense. I plan on being on the offense. And we have won our first battle. I'm going to go ahead and take this army and move it straight in. Looks like they're actually going to get out before I have a chance to take that. Could lose 10 military experience. There's no reason right now. I might as well just start building more and more men. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to recruit some cohorts. Let's go ahead and recruit. Let's do... I'll do them from a little bit more spread out. I'm going to recruit 5 warriors, 5 light light infantry. Let's say have our Grand King come and fight a little bit. We are victorious. We've actually captured someone. That's great. They significantly outnumber us. I might need to localize my forces a little bit more. And we have taken some slaves. That's exactly what we wanted. I'll move on to Rubes. We've captured another one of their characters. That is awesome. I think deception is still the way we want to go here, although that hit and run is useful. Yeah, that hit and run's very useful. I might switch to... hit and run is going to be good when I'm fighting the Romans, maybe. Although, so is deception. We'll see what happens. I'm actually going to try automating this navy. It's something I haven't really played with a ton. But let's turn it to hunt fleets, maybe? And just see what it does. See if it if the AI is good, smart enough to handle that. Looks like I've taken another slave. That's perfect. Taking some more. I'm going to go ahead and move these troops on in. See here. Go ahead and accept those horses. Don't really want to spend the military experience quite yet. I'm still just going to continue to build my own forces. I might move... I might go ahead and move this army down as well. That means I only have 1 force in the British Isles to take care of any barbarians. I think that we are going to be fine like that. Worst case scenario, I can always hire some mercs. So I'm going to go ahead and as I take that off of independent operations, put you on the boats, take these boats, move them to here. Take these boats, move them just right on in. Looks like I'm going to win that battle. I probably didn't even need to bring in any of my secondary troops, but that's going to be fine. Taking a slave to Venta. You're not making any capture speed, so that's fine. Landed 16,000 men here. You are going to cross that large river. You are going to come here. I'm going to unite this group and go ahead and build... Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 archers. And let's do 2 heavy cavalry and 3 light cavalry. That should give me a good puncturing force. I want to go ahead and move these light infantry away. Once again, taking plenty of slaves. That's exactly what I want. I want to push my population to Great Britain. Not super worried about the pops in Northern Gaul. Once again, more slaves to the mainland, or my main island. You, I want to go all the way and start taking that fort. You, I want to join here. Another victory for the Albions. A united Great Britain, nothing can stand between it and world dominance, right? Oh, it looks like we may have some trouble here. I'll go ahead and move in this army. I really don't think that's going to be that bad. It thinks I might lose these two fights. I have lots of confidence, but I'll go ahead and move my king in. My king is going to get his first taste of battle, and he is very old. We are victorious. And it appears that they are not willing to actually fight that fight. And we're going to be victorious in the south as well. Meanwhile, we continue to push up north and take more slaves. They, of course, are doing the same. Again, I'm not super worried about that because I'm trying to move my slaves to the mainland. Although, Bagacum is taking a lot of slaves as well. Of course, Venta is also, look at that, I have 16 Belgi pops in, yeah, 13 Belgi pops in Venta and already, so that's perfect for me. It's pumping up the amount of people I have in Venta, which is always preferred. Means I can actually come down here, and I'm going to hit that library button again. Let's go ahead and build another library. That's going to mean even more citizens. Even more citizens means even more tech. Can I really not? Yeah, there we go. Advance north. If this army is coming here, then you can come down here to start defending some of the Albion land. It's kind of difficult for me to say Albion. I keep wanting to call them Icenian land. I'll go ahead and just gain 2 prominence. Have my steward gain a couple prominence. Still happy. Still taking all the slaves. Alright, that hostile fort is going to stop me. I'm going to wait until he's movement locked, which he is now, and go ahead and move in there. We're in good shape. My Emperor, not King, my Emperor. Oh, we have won a siege. Perfect. These heavy infantry will go there. You will go there. In the end, it probably didn't even need that second army. Although they're all coming in to fight this battle as well. This actually might make it quite the large battle, but I have won at least the first one. Ooh, even with 26,000 men, the game doesn't think they will be able to hold up against the, well, there's roughly 25,000 men here, so looks to be in good shape. I am suffering from some low food, although that's just here. I'm not too worried about that spot. Alright, do we think that my 5 marshal emperor can take on 20,000 under a 9 marshal? The game says it's going to be close. I don't necessarily know if I want to risk it. I don't really want him to lose. I'm going to have him sit at home for at least a minute. And maybe bring my 6th warband down. We have won a great victory. So we will continue to siege this city. I'm going to go ahead and move this army back to there. My Grand Horseman army. I might actually make another Grand Horseman army. Looks like Londinium has finally become a city. Let's go ahead and look at what we can build there. One, we also have an army here, which we might as well start moving towards the fray. I definitely don't want you to be in charge. I don't love for you to be in charge either. Let's look at you. Loyalty gain chances increased, but you're also the most loyal to me, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. And I'm going to move you there. Let's look at Londinium. I want to... look at its population capacity. So people are going to come to Londinium. Let's look at its migration attraction, plus 17. Yeah, it was a good move, I think, to turn this into a city. So let's go ahead and... I don't love having tribesmen there. I'm going to increase that. I'm also going to build a aqueduct, even though I have plenty of population capacity, because I would get an increased migration attraction, which is always good. So, yeah, and so I'm just going to let that roll for a little while. And continue to fight down here. I am movement locked by these forts. Bring you back. My Emperor will gain 5 legitimacy. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. He seems to be pretty powerful anyway. He's very popular. He will, of course, be more popular if he starts winning some battles, but... let's go that way. See if... he won't get the credit for winning that because he's not as strong. Although he might win this battle by himself. Let's see. He's got the deception. He is melting away his opponent's armies. Oh, we've won somewhere else. Yep, and they're going to come in and try to reinforce. He is melting away the opponent's armies, but his army is outnumbered by quite a bit, by almost 15,000 men. It's all going to depend on whether I can get this relieving army here in time, and indeed they do. And now it does seem like I will win that battle. I also am about to have to fight up here at this fort once again. I am not concerned, though. And in the end, we did win here. One of my pretenders gained some popularity, but that is alright. I'm going to go ahead and move my Emperor to re-siege this, or recapture this settlement. That is fine. We're all looking good. As soon as this falls, this war... well, I mean, not that this war is not already been decided, but I want to take as many slaves as possible and push them towards the grand, glorious city of Venta. So I can build another building here. I might actually think about building a theater here, because I'm taking so many slaves that you know, I have 25 Belgae population, 22 in the actual city, 25 in the province. We have one again, and we've sent another Belgae tribesman, or in this case a slave, to Venta. So I'm going to go ahead and build that theater. That should be good. Also, I think I might hit that install provincial procurators again. Only costs 72, although I'm actually out of building slots, so in this case I would probably be best building another building slot. Although that 4% population output with so many citizens does look super tasty. And look at that, 75 civilization. That is amazing. You know, I've never hit this make religious endowments. It seems to me that state religious happiness isn't really worth spending 80 political influence on, or even 72. I could get another building. Provincial loyalty, I mean, it's always going to be loyal. I'll hold off for a minute, just kind of gain some more. I have taken this city. Let's go ahead and move in, shall we? I think it's starting to look like a time when we might look for peace. I definitely want to recapture some of these areas that they recaptured. And I definitely want to capture these last two little enclaves. Looks like we have continued to win battle after battle. They are moving in 16,000 men. I'm going to go ahead and say that that's not good. I think we'll be okay. As long as they can get there in time. We will see, we will see. They just have to hold the line. Neither of us has a tactics advantage, but we now have way higher morale and more men. They will lose this fight. We have captured one of their generals. That's perfect. I guess you can now head back towards... And the big thing is we're going to capture a port. I've wanted a port in Gaul for a while in the mainland, in the Belgi territory. And we'll send another slave pop to Venta. I think it's finally time to go ahead and sue for peace. And I am going to go ahead and just take all of it. I cannot take that. So I'm going to go ahead and just, well, you don't even have a fort, do you? Alright. You all survive for just a second longer while I come and... you know what? I'm going to let them live for another day. I think this is a decent peace treaty. It's going to give me 16 aggressive expansion, which admittedly is going to slow us down a little bit. That's fine. That's kind of what that mechanic is there for. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the OK button. And reduce aggressive expansion any way that I can, which brings me down to only 13.5 aggressive expansion. Man, that is very useful. And boom. Albion now has quite a large foothold on the mainland with several forts, a port which is very useful, and yeah, we are looking good. I think that though is going to be all I have for today. I've been going for about 40 minutes. We have expanded quite a bit. I'm also pretty happy with the internal politics and internal mechanisms that we have done. I have really increased that research rate. We are now at 70 research points per month. That is awesome. That is going to help us catch up with the likes of Rome and of Carthage. Look at their research. Okay, we are actually we are on par militarily with Carthage. So that is huge. That's a huge step in the right direction for us. We, as well as Carthage, are at military tech 3. And at this point, we are really going to focus on increasing our military tech. So Carthage, they are the militarily, technologically backwards people of Carthage are still struggling to contain the Iberian tribes. Eventually, I do feel like they will take all of that land. They have taken most of North Africa. Rome is doing what Rome has wanted to do all game, which is just sit here, part in Gaul, part in Italia. Macedon hasn't done much, except now they have attacked Thrace, and Thrace may be long for this world. At one point, Thrace had expanded to contain most of this whole region. They never did get either of these two countries, but they had at one point expanded to take most of this area, and then they just started to fall apart due to internal squabbles. Speaking of falling apart due to internal squabbles, look at this mess. The Persian Empire is no more. Parthia is really pushing southward now. I would be kind of excited to see a very strong Parthia, just like in real life. And anyway, and of course, I mean, Egypt and Maria still look very, very strong. Anyway, I've been Ben the Bold. You have been you. I hope that you're enjoying what you're seeing and that you will tune in tomorrow.